Thank you, Speaker Ross. I rise this morning, or early afternoon, to talk about the nation's #1 anti-poverty program for the elderly and the #1 anti-poverty program for children, and the program that provides more disability benefits to our veterans than the VA. I'm talking about Social Security, Mr. Speaker, and this might be news to some of the viewers in our audience and at home, but Congress has not acted to enhance Social Security in more than 53 years. Richard Nixon was the President of the United States the last time Congress acted on this much-needed benefit, the #1 anti-poverty program for the elderly and the #1 anti-poverty program for children. Instead, what we find is our colleagues on the other side, the Republican Study Commission, has said that what we need to do is cut Social Security by $1.5 trillion over the next 10 years. $1.5 trillion over the next 10 years. In the process, Speaker Ross, what they've done also is said that yes, and initially what we need to do is to raise the age of people. What they don't tell the recipients is for every year you raise the age, that's a 7% cut in benefits. So what they've proposed is a 21% across-the-board cut for Social Security. My good friend Jody Arrington, the chairman of the Budget Committee, and the Budget Committee meets this week, and I hope they get to explore the myths regarding Social Security. It has nothing to do with the debt or the deficit of this country. And the actuary, the chief actuary, will lay that out. Speaker Ross, you might be surprised to know that in your district there's over 179,000 recipients. In your district, that brings in $306 million monthly. And where do they spend that money, Mr. Speaker? Right back in your district. They go to the pharmacy, they go to the grocery store, they put gas in their tank, they pay their rent, they pay their mortgage, and they haven't had an increase since 1971. It's long overdue for Congress to act. The president has put forward a proposal. Democrats have a proposal. All we need to do is vote. If you got a better idea, for all means, put it out there. But if you don't, at least allow a vote to take place so you can minimally help out the people in your district. On average, every member of Congress gets more than $200 million monthly that comes into your district. There's no better economic development plan for people in your district because of where they're going to spend that money. Nobody gets wealthy on Social Security. The average for a male is $18,000, for a female is $14,000, and for more than 5 million of our fellow Americans, they get below poverty level checks from the wealthiest nation in the world. You're out proposing cuts for the very wealthy, the top 1%. And won't even take care of the 5 million people who have paid into a system and get below poverty level checks. And while we're speaking of tax cuts, as Mr. Arrington and I noted to him, how about the 23 million Americans that will receive a tax cut under the Democratic plan? How about we look at working Americans and give them a tax cut in their retirement instead of double taxing them on Social Security? 23 million Americans will benefit directly from this program that we've put forward. President Biden has said that we'll pay for this as well by lifting the cap on people making over $400,000. Now, to understand this, as Linda Sanchez said in the committee the other day, for those expensive professional football or baseball players, for a baseball player, he's done paying Social Security after his first at bat, while the rest of America continues to pay into the system. But there are several millionaires and billionaires who circumvent the law completely and pay nothing into Social Security. While meanwhile, those men and women who defend this nation, the firefighters, the police officers, and the school teachers, many of whom have been double victimized by weapon GPO. We repeal weapon GPO. How about a vote, Mr. Speaker?
The gentleman's time has